Hey, welcome back to another workout. I'm Mel with Total Package Pilates and Wellness. Excited to use our small ball today on the mat, and we're going to jump right into it. So I want us to start sitting up nice and tall. Your legs are going to be long on the mat. There's a little space, about a fist distance between them, so that your heels are right in line with your sits bones, those bony bones under your butt. We're going to bring the ball into our hands, and we're just going to start with some half rollbacks. So you can have a micro bend in your knees right now. If your hamstrings are tight, I want your pelvis stacked right under your ribs, and your ribs are under your shoulders. Roll them down your back and start to tuck your pelvis. Come into that big scoop C curve. You're driving your abs back towards your spine, starting to warm up and engage here. We're going to start out with our core work today. We'll move into some glutes, some upper body. It's really going to be a full body workout as always. But I love using the ball as a prop, especially here as we warm up. I want you to feel that slight press into the ball and think about knitting your ribs into your midline. So closing them in like they're corseting for you, and then drawing again your abs back. We're going to round up and then we're going to round back one more time. We're going to hold here, pause. We're going to start to bring the ball in toward our nose and press it away. You bring it in toward your face, not losing that connection with your abs. You're probably feeling those top few inches right above your navel starting to light up as you bring that ball toward your face and press it away. Pause here. We're going to go over, just twisting, thinking rib to hip connection to the left. We're going to go down with the ball up overhead. We'll do 8, 7, 6, reach for the floor, 5, good, you guys, you should feel that right oblique working to stabilize you. This is 3. We come back to the center in 2. I told you we were starting spicy in 1. Center. We go back in toward our face just for 4. For 3, we take it to the other side in 2. And then you get a rest. We'll reach forward after that. Reach it. Go to the right. Up overhead for 8. Exhale, reach. I only want you to take this as big as you can keep that strong connection in your abs. Keep your ribs lengthened and knitting into your midline. You just have 3. Up overhead, exhale. Good. 2, 1. Center, reach forward. Good. Take a quick moment. All right, sit up nice and tall. Abs are getting really warm. We're going to reach back. We're still pressing into that ball. Soft bend in the elbows. We're going to reach up overhead. Just biceps in line with the ears, or just take it as high as you can. Again, keeping it connected in those abs. I don't want you to feel that low back. I want you to keep that strong scoop and tuck of your pelvis. Just give me 5, 4, good. 3, it doesn't take much, huh? We're like a minute or 2 into this. 1, reach forward, stretch for your toes. All right, so we're going to do some roll downs now. I want you to transfer this ball right in between your ankles, and then again, straighten your legs out. Now, reach those arms forward. They're just in line with your shoulders. You're sitting up nice and tall. Squeeze in on that ball. It's going to assist you as you slowly, with control, try to round back, peeling your spine onto the mat, vertebra by vertebra. Shocked I got that one out. And then the arms can just go overhead. Unless this doesn't feel right in your shoulders, you can always stop just in line with the shoulders. But if this feels okay in your body, take those arms overhead, take a moment, make sure your shoulders aren't becoming earrings. They're just kind of naturally living. And then start to exhale as you reach forward, draw your abs in. If you need assistance here, you can walk your hands up your thighs or up the mat, but the more you squeeze in on that ball, you'll feel that connection through your inner thighs, up through your pelvic floor, and it helps you access your abs in a more deep way so that you can actually achieve that roll up, whereas you might not be able to normally without that connection. Good. We're just going to do this a few times, and then we're going to take it into the opposite, a roll over, and I'll give you some modifications there if you're new to rolling your hips up over your pelvis. I know that can be intimidating when you're starting out. Just one more. Slowly peeling up. Really try to find the mobilization in your spine, but also the work in your core. It should be nice and warm from that starting ab series. Roll down. Really try to get low back, mid back, upper back last. As your hands come overhead, you can sweep and circle them around and just plant them down on the mat. They're going to help you stabilize. Now start to bend your knees in. Your feet are just planted on the mat. Make sure you have a good solid connection though of that ball between your ankles, so adjust if you need to. And your legs come into tabletop. I want you to reach them up toward the sky. Now we're just going to start with a quick tester. I want you to press your forearms into the mat, widen your collarbones so that your shoulders are gliding down the back, and then just use your abs to lift your legs up, maybe just a few inches, and then set your hips back down. So you're getting your low back off the mat. Maybe you're even able to get up to that kind of mid back so that your low back is up off the mat as well. We're going to try to take our legs all the way overhead. Quick note, I want you to make sure that the weight stays only in your shoulders. You should never be coming up so that the weight is in your neck. Technically, while I don't want you to do this, you should be able in a rollover to turn your head side to side. So if you're with me, you can either stick with the footprints or we're going to roll all the way over a few times. So we lift up. We bring our legs overhead just so that they're parallel with the mat. Then we use our abs. We start to slowly peel our spine back down on the mat, finding each vertebra and getting a nice stretch through the low back as we come back, just so that our ankles are over our hips. We'll try that a couple more times. I want you to inhale, prepare, squeeze into that ball. Find that connection between your inner thighs, squeeze your butt, squeeze your abs, come overhead, and then peel your spine down slow. So this is pretty much the opposite spinal mobility wise of what we were just doing with our roll downs. Now we're rolling over and we're finding that mobility through the spine, that work through the abs from the opposite direction. Should feel really nice. Good. All right, let's move on. Let's get back into some abdominal work here. So I want you to go ahead and bring the ball under your right foot and make sure it's kind of on that midfoot, like right in your arch. And then from here, you're going to interlace your fingers, bring them behind your head. We're not curling up just yet, but we will be. So first things first, let's bring our left leg into tabletop. I want you to think about closing your rib cage into the midline like we always talk about. Engage your abs. And we're just going to start, before we even curl up, by rolling that ball with control, extending through your right leg, and then pulling that ball back under your foot. So you roll that ball out, and you could just be moving your leg to move it. Try to find that connection in your abs up through your obliques as you, with control, roll that ball out with your leg and roll it back under your foot. So we're going to add on here. I want you to find your curl up. You're going to roll that ball out with your leg. Now, as you lower your head, we're going to tap our left toes down to the mat. So we extend out, we curl. We tap the left toes down as we lower the head. We'll do 6 more like this. We're going to do 2 more variations. Each one will be 8 reps, just so that you can pace yourself. This is 4. Exhale. Tap down as you lower. 3, 2. I don't know if you can hear my ball. It's very noisy. And 1. Pause here, hold. Now, I want you to go ahead and you're going to draw that leg in. You're going to lower and extend your left leg out to 45 degrees. Now, as you pull that left leg in, you twist to the left. And I want you to think as you're doing this, it's more about armpit to knee, kind of nip to hip, if you will, and try to keep this tabletop leg right in line with your hip. That's actually more challenging than pulling it all the way towards your elbow. So again, we lower as we extend, and then we twist to the left. We have 6. Exhale, twist. 5, 4, good. Extend that leg out. And you can always raise the angle of the leg if this is too much for you to have it this low. 3, 2. We have our last variation coming in 1. Perfect. So hold it here. Come back through center. Hold your curl. You can reach your arms long and forward if you need to. If your abs are fatiguing, try to extend, lifting up through your quad. This left leg straight. And now we just do a straight leg lower and lift, holding our curl. Again, arms long and forward to curl up a little bit higher to assist you with the weight, because it is more challenging, even though we're supporting our head with our hands, to have the weight of your arms behind your head. You just have 3. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Give me 1. Good. Bend in, rest. Whew. By the end, it really starts to kick in, doesn't it? Good stuff, you guys. All right, let's go straight on to that other side. So we're getting set up. We have the ball under our left foot. It's kind of right under that arch in a good position. And then our right leg is in tabletop, right in line with our hip. We're going to go ahead and find that curl up. Extend that leg out. Oops, I lied. We're extending our left leg out. And then we're lowering as we tap the toes down for 8. Extend your left leg. Tap your right toes, lower your head for 7. For 6. Exhale. I'm constantly body scanning as I do this. This is 5, but making sure again that this right thigh doesn't come over my hip, because again, keeping the weight there. This is 3, actually is more challenging. So modification, if this feels too difficult, is to bring it in past your navel. That's absolutely an option for you. 2. We'll do 1 more and then we'll switch it up. Good. So we're going to extend out, lower the head, and then pull it in, twist to the right. Extend to 45 or a challenging level, twist to the right. Good. We're almost through this. This is 6. Use your breath. Exhale, 5. Keep control of that ball and that other leg. 4. I feel like mine's getting a little out of pocket here. Give me 2 more like this, and then we find that hold and the straight leg, and then we'll move on. 1. Good. Bend it in. Come through center. Reach your arms long and forward. Curl up a little bit higher. You're going to go ahead and lower that leg. And then you just scissor switch. Good. Hands behind the head if you want a more difficult variation. 6. If your hands are behind your head, make sure your head is heavy in your hands, that you're not pulling through your neck, and that you're continuing to knit those ribs into the midline. Really important. You're driving your abs down into your spine, into that mat. Good. Stay connected. Yeah, I can barely talk. I hope you're feeling challenged as well. 2 and 1. Bend in. Take a moment if you would like. You can windshield wiper your knees back and forth to stretch through your low back. We're going to go ahead and get into some more work here as we move forward. So I want you to bring the ball into your right hand, and your hands are just going to be right under your shoulders and knees are right under your hips. We're going to find a little bit of tricep work. And if at any point the ball just doesn't feel right to you, you can absolutely get rid of it and just do this without the ball. You would just do your normal tricep bows that we've done in other workouts. So from here, I want you to spiral your elbows back. We're going to focus on really bending through the left tricep as we roll the ball with our right forearm and press up. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to think you're just lowering your chest and head. You're not dipping through your core to find that bow. So, there's no arch in my spine except for just the natural curves of my spine, if that makes sense. Your neck is long. We'll just do 6. 5. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press. 3. 2. 1. Pause. Reset that ball under your hand. Now, we're going to add a balance challenge if you're ready. Reach your left leg out and think about length, not height. Make sure your hips are squared off so you're not reaching out and finding some major hip opening on the left side. Your hips are staying squared off to the mat. Your shoulders stay squared off. We're just going to press our right hand into that ball. We're going to find a little dip down and a press up. A little dip down and a press up. Just for 6. Good, you guys. Press up 4. Again, the ball is adding instability, even more of a balance challenge from a regular bird dog tricep press up. Give me 1. Now pause here. We're going to reach the ball long with our leg. We're going to extend our arm and leg out to the side. We'll bring it back to center. And then from here, can you find a little tap of your toe with that ball? Come back to your bird dog. Extend out to the side, squeezing through your obliques and core. Find that tap. Working again, some twist of our spine. You should feel your shoulders working here, especially that left side, to help you stabilize. And then you reach out to the side and you tap. Good. We'll just do 2 more like this, and then we'll do it all on the other side. Come down. Really nice. All right, let's start over on that left side. So we're getting set up. Hands are right under our shoulders. I'm connected through my ribs, so they're still drawing into the midline. My core is lifted, and I'm just going to focus again. I spiral my elbows back, and as I roll through that left hand and forearm, I press up through my right tricep. So I come down, I press up. So I am putting just a little weight on this left side, but I really am trying to keep the majority of the weight in this press up on my right side. So almost like a single arm tricep press up bow, but not really, because that would be insane. I'm sure some of you could do that. Not this girl. Good. We'll just do 1 more. Perfect. Now we bring the hands on that ball. We extend our right leg out. We leave it lifted. So you're squeezing that glute. You're trying to find length out of that leg through your hips, but they stay squared off to the mat, shoulders squared off. We just go down through both arms. And now I do have some weight on that left side. It's being challenged by the instability of that ball. Pressing up. We'll just do 3. Good. Keep your gaze down, your neck long. Down for 1. Hold it here, reset. Make sure you have your arm under that shoulder and in a good place. I'm going to reach my left arm long with this ball. I'm going to take my right leg and my left arm away from my body, pull it back into center. Find that little wag the tail, twist, touch my toe, do it again. Pull it back into center. I twist and I bring it forward. This is such a great balance challenge. Lots of functional movement here. Good. Warming up those obliques for some work that we're going to do here shortly. We'll just do 1 more like this. Back to center. We touch. We reach, set it down. Take a quick stretch back. Maybe wiggle through that spine a little bit. All right. So there are 2 options here. We're going to do some hip thrusts. You can, if it feels best in your body, just find this kind of like hover position. You're holding in on the ball and then you thrust your hips forward, squeeze your glutes. If you're with me though and you want to try something different, what I'm really loving is this Z-sit kind of mermaid position. So right now my left shin is in front of my body and then my right knee is just back here. If this feels okay in your hips, you can try this variation. It's a great way to target your glutes in a hip extension. So we're going to press in on the ball, just again to connect into our abs and midline and help with our balance. We're going to press up, squeeze, feel a nice stretch as well through your psoas here, but you should feel your glutes working and slow with control, lower down. So I want you to press up, squeeze your glutes, press in on that ball, feel your abs contract, use your glutes, your hamstrings, and your core to slowly lower down. Squeeze, lower. Try to make it like a 3 or 4 count if you can. The slower you go, instead of just plopping down, the more difficult and engaged your muscles will be. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lower. Good. We'll just do 4 more like this, and we'll do it on the other side. This is 3. Squeeze your glutes, press those hips forward, lower with control. Last one. Press up, squeeze, and lower. Good. All right. So we'll bring our right shin in front. Now my left leg is just here behind me. I'm going to reset, make sure I'm nice and tall through my spine. I lift and I lower with control. I'm just going to just put my knees on the mat here. That feels much nicer. Exhale. Squeeze. Lower with control. And noticing any differences side to side. You know, we're all very different in terms of the degree of hip extension that we have side to side. Everyone virtually that's human has about 30 degrees of hip extension in their body. Maybe there's a few contortionists that have a bit more, but you know, you'll notice side to side that you might be more limited. And so this is a great way to train, again, unilateral work in your body, strengthening each of your hips individually. We'll just do 2 more. Squeeze. We'll do 1. And squeeze. Good. All right, let's come down, and I'm going to be here on my left hip. I want you to tuck that ball behind your right knee, and then I'm going to be on my left forearm. I want you to think hips stacked. You're really lifting up out of your rib cage on this bottom oblique. I want it working. My top hand can just come lightly, tented fingers onto the mat, and then make sure your bottom hip is in line with your bottom knee. And then of course this top hip, it's lifted. It's going to stay here. It's working already. Hopefully you can feel it. This is all part of the work in the setup. We're just going to take that leg back and away just to the degree that you can in your body and bring it forward. It goes back and away and we bring it forward. You should feel this top outer hip and glute working. So good. This is 7, 6, squeeze it back, 5, hamstring working to keep this ball locked in behind that knee, 4, keep those abs and ribs engaged, 3, we're going to hold it back in 2, in 1, hold it back. I just want you to lift that leg up, bring it down, lift it up, bring it down. Good. 8. So lifting from the knee and that hip extension. This is 6. You can gaze toward your bottom hand and forearm if that feels better on your neck. This is 4. 3. We're going to combo these moves in 2. 1. Good. Bring it forward. Bring it back. Lift. Lower. Forward. Back. Lift. Lower. You just have 8 more like this. Lift. Forward. 7. 6. Good. Breathe. Stay lifted here. Don't dump into the shoulder. Kind of saying that for myself too. 4. 3. We're going to hold it back for a finale in 2. 1. Forward. Take it back. Almost done. Hold it here. Squeeze in on that ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Woo. Give that hip and glute a little tap, tap, little massage. We're going to move to the other side, but before we do, we're going to get into our obliques a little bit here. So I want you to bring your legs straight and forward, kind of in this like banana shape. And then we're going to have the ball in our hand here, and we're going to reach it overhead. Our arm is just long here, and we'll press up. We'll reach the ball for our toes. So I'm coming all the way back on this left hip, and then with control, nice and slow, like we did in the hip thrust, we lower back down. We'll just do 8 of these. So this is 7, press up, reach that ball for your toes. And the work, you guys, is not just on the up. It really is on the control of the down as you roll slightly forward back onto that hip. Whoop, see, balance. Reach for your toes. And then you roll forward, you come down, press up, squeeze, lower with control. Good. How slowly can you bring those legs down? Let's just do 3 more. And again, if the straight legs isn't working for you, you can bend in and extend back. So that's an option. Good. Give me 2 more. And then we'll go to those other side of hip extensions. 1 and lower. Ooh, that side is working. All right, let's go ahead. We'll swivel on over. I'm on my right hip, my right forearm. I lock that ball in behind my left knee. I'm nice and lifted through this bottom oblique, lifting out of this shoulder. My leg is at hip height. This bottom knee is tracking in line with that hip. And we're just gonna start by taking that leg back and away and bringing it forward. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm not overarching through my back. I'm trying to keep my ribs and my abs nice and connected in the front here, and my torso nice and stable so that this hip extension is just happening because I'm activating through my glute and also a little through the psoas and hip flexor, of course. This is 7. Exhale, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, good. We find those lifts in 2, squeeze back, 1. All right, the next time you take it back, hold it back. I just want you to lift up from that knee. It's small. You can gaze at your hand, make sure you're pressing out of the shoulder, lifting up through your bottom oblique. 5, 4, we combo these in 3, 2, 1. Bring it forward, bring it back, lift. Forward, back, lift. Good. And again, notice any differences side to side, tightness, lack of mobility. This is your workout, so adjust the range of motion to what feels right in your body and where you're engaging most in that glute and outer hip. That's what I want you to be feeling with this exercise. Good. Give me 4, 3, my leg is shaking. 2, we're gonna hold it back after this one. Bring it forward, take it back, just squeeze in on that ball. Good. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Oh. Give it a tap, give it a little massage. Come long on your mat in that banana shape, which means the feet are slightly forward. And then from here, get set up. Make sure you're not going to roll off the back of your mat. You reach this ball overhead. We press up, we exhale, and then slowly with control, we lower. We press up, we reach for our toes, squeezing our obliques. And again, we lower with control. So good, you guys. Again, modification would be to bend the knees in if that feels better to you, and also to just maybe stay on your forearm. Maybe you don't roll all the way down and to the side. That's obviously more difficult because it's a bit more balance as we come down on that hip. Good. Let's just do 3. Grand finale here. 2. Good. We have 1 last exercise. And come down. Oh, press yourself up carefully. Let's just do a little bit of spinal extension here, working into our full back body. We're going to come lying down on the mat. I want you to place your hands on the ball. We'll just start with a few simple swans. So both of my hands are on the ball. My ears are just in line with my biceps. My legs are hip distance apart and they're active. I am tucking my pelvis under so that my glutes are very engaged. My legs are completely engaged through the front and back, and I'm lifting my core. I want you to think, what if someone put an ice cube under the mat right below your belly button? You'd pull up. So think of that sensation. Now press into the ball, bring it towards your face. Inhale, find your degree of spinal extension that feels good in your body. and then roll that ball away. Make sure you glide your shoulders down your back like you're trying to slip them into your back pocket before you move. Good. Maintaining that good shoulder health and integrity and alignment as you find your spinal extension. So again, that means your shoulders aren't up here and then you're pressing down and raising. You pull them down your back, then you bring that ball in towards you. You inhale, find length through the crown of your head like someone has a string at the top of the crown of your head or on your sternum. And that just helps you from overextending through your neck. One more. All right, we're going to add on here. So now we're going to reach the ball. We're hovering it in the air. Hover your legs up. Can you get your thighs off the mat? From here, I want you to take the ball just in your right hand. You reach both hands back, grab the ball, squeeze it, pull up a little higher. You're in this kind of like seesaw teeter-totter. Left hand grabs the ball. You bring it forward. You lower down. So now we raise. The left hand has the ball. They meet behind your back. You squeeze. You find a little more extension. The right hand takes the ball as you lower the legs and the chest. We'll just do one more each side because it's a powerful, strong motion. So we lift, fully engaged. Right hand takes the ball. Left meets it. We pull back a little further. Can you get those legs a little higher? Left hand grabs the ball. You try not to hit any furniture that might be in the area as you lower. Good. Last one. We lift. Legs raising. Get them as high as you can. This is your last one. Squeeze in on that ball. Beautiful. Squeeze that butt. Squeeze those abs. And then lower down. Come onto your forearms. Slide your knees up under your body. Roll back. Take a child's pose. Great work, you guys. You crushed it. I would love if you could comment and let me know what you thought of this workout and also what you would like to see more of on the channel. If it's reformer workouts, if it's workouts for home on the mat, and what props you have access to. I would love to create more content for you. Again, I'm Mel, and I appreciate you moving your body with me today.